Liam James Payne, yeah.
No, I'm saying like.
Okay, we're gonna focus. Liam James Payne, and this is interesting. He was in Buenos Aires, Argentina, which I hear is beautiful.
It's the France of South America.
Yeah. Here we go. Liam James Payne, Liam James Payne, Liam James Payne. Present and future, visible for what we want to know. And we want to know, did he jump off the third floor? Was he pushed off the third floor? Did someone sacrifice him? Did Simon Cowell have anything to do with this? Where did that come from? And was he on drugs?
Yes.
Was there going to be a One Direction reunion? These have to be all Michelle's questions. And for what's hidden and hidden behind darkness and the God and the saints will reveal the answers to our questions. Here we go. Michelle.
There's another one I want to add.
These are, it's too late.
Another one.
What? What do you
want? Was his ex-fiance, was the reason for him wanting to unalive himself, was it because his ex-fiance was going to write a tell-all book of the abuse she endured with his relationship?
Okay. Interesting. All right, let's see. We'll see. First two coming out. You guys ready?
Yeah.
Oof. That's interesting. So it talks about like everything he was trying to do was blocked. Moving forward, trying to do stuff completely blocked. And he started to become very impatient and very anxious. And so I don't know how long he'd been using or if he was using to an extreme or maybe that was just because it was out there. But it's talking about this anxiousness, this, what am I going to do? Like everything's falling apart. Like what do I do here? Like, and then in the crossing of that, it talks about the things that are hidden. And then it talks about the things that will be made clear, which is an interesting card to have as a crossing card because it's answering your questions and trying to clear things up. It says, what was around all that, we're looking for opportunities. And opportunities were actually going to come from. But we don't know. Okay, we'll just get to that card when we get there. And then over here in the past, it talks about no magic. Like nothing was happening. There was no miracles or no magic. Nothing was happening for him, and he didn't know what to do. It then says, and his girl presently was upside down with him. So they weren't cool either. Maybe she knew, like you said, you're saying abuse, but maybe it was more because she saw the abuse he was putting to himself. She must have seen him using drugs.
Well, now he has a different girlfriend now because that was his ex-fiance.
Well, I'm talking about the one he has now.
So, she left 3 days before.
But that's why I'm saying something I don't know if she sacrificed him, but I don't know yet. But that's interesting to say. But honestly, she was already upside down with him. Presently, at the moment that all this stuff was happening, she was upside down with him. And if you're seeing someone use that much drugs and shooting heroin and chasing and doing the whole 9 yards, I mean, either you're involved with it, you know what I mean, or you're just going to take seeing it being done like to that extreme. It says, in the future, it talks about an obstacle. So it's talking about what have been in the future that there was an obstacle. We'll find out what that is. It says broken heart. And then it says his love, the woman he loves upside down. And then it talks about the struggles, the battles. There's no more struggles, no more battles, no more girl, no more love. It says now tied up. So again, and I've made this very clear to you guys a million times, when you commit suicide, it isn't like you just go across. You're being held to be evaluated. And the only one that makes that decision in the underworld is Thoth. He's the one who's either for you or against you. And then God says, okay, take it. So that's where your judgment kind of happens. And I know you guys don't understand that, but that's what he does. And so it's saying, tied up, blinded, deaf, dumb, blind. And when you go to hell, you're deaf, dumb, and blind. And so you knew that, right? So it's interesting to see that. Could he be in hell already? I mean, we'll find out right now. It says, interesting stuff. It's talking about no more love. So when people die, we start hearing the no more stuff. No more this, no more that, no more opportunities for love, no more love. It says, look at that, no more things to complete or no more things to finish, he's saying. And then it says, and no more judgment. Like there's no judgment. That's interesting that he's saying no judgment, no justice. So is it that he's saying that there's no justice in what was done to him? Or is he saying he's no longer has to face judgment because of where he's at? I'm just saying, because I know in my personal experience that when you do that, it's almost a direct ticket to hell. You're held for a little bit, then it's straight to there. It says alone but not wanting to be alone, and that's what it's kind of talking about. He was alone, but he didn't want to be alone. He wanted someone to be there. He was starting to exhibit signs of his insecurities and the anxiousness. I think you kind of want someone to be. You start to get kind of scared. I know, because when I went to go kill myself, or unalive myself, yeah, I felt very anxious. Like I was jittery, shaky. It wasn't just like I'm like, oh yeah, no. I was a mess. I was falling apart because I was terrified. And maybe that's part of being a coward, because you can't believe you're about to do something you're going to do. But again, that's kind of what it's showing up as. So those are the cards that are on the table, and we got to throw in each one. We'll start back to the center, and in the center card you see where it says blocked. So it's talking about being blocked. Then it talks about the impatience, aggravation, anxiety, all those things. But like everything around him was being blocked. He was being blocked at everything. It says, and he couldn't find his balance. It's talking about not being able to find his balance or to make a different decision. So he may have been too far gone. It says, in the circle of life, that there was fortune for him. It says, but there was also an angry woman. So again, I'm on vacation in Buenos Aires, Argentina, right? And I'm going to be there for 3 weeks, maybe in a month, maybe 2 months. Would there be any reason why I'd want to come back earlier than that? There's no reason.
I don't know.
So I go with someone and they're using drugs, and it's just, that's the main focus of being down there. And you're with that person, you're with this person, and he's constantly high on heroin, whatever other drugs he's getting.
Yeah, you would come back.
You come back, why? But come on,
You're
think,
mad,
guys.
You're upset.
Yeah, you're bothered, you're fighting.
What kind of vacation is that?
Exactly. And she's saying that's the angry woman. Like, she's going to feel now, she's also going to feel now that because she left early, guilty, because it's a double-edged sword, and that's who it is. It's the Queen of Swords. And so she's going to feel like, because I left, and when we left fighting, I'm sure they were probably arguing, because probably he didn't want her to go, one thing, right? Secondly, he's getting fucked up. Like, I saw a picture, at least Michelle showed me the table. There's foils everywhere.
Even on the bathtub.
Yeah, and I'm like, oh, shit.
He was partying.
But is there, we don't know yet if this is going to turn into something else different, or there's foul play. It says, it's kind of telling the story. It says at this point, it says, money, work, all those things, like, it was like a kind of she wanted things to work. She wanted things to work with him, but it just seemed like there needed to be a big change. And so I think that was her thing, things have to change. And I think every woman reaches a point where she's like, yeah, I'm tired of this. Like, this isn't what I want. I don't want to be here with you. You're getting fucked up every moment of every day. And then you're like accusing me of stuff, we're arguing. Like, that sort of stuff starts to happen with people. Because you're high, you start thinking stupid shit. Yeah. So that's interesting. It says, in the crossing of that, some things will be clear and some things may still seem hidden. It says, what a fool. It says, what a fool. Triumph was waiting for him, but he chose to party. So in other words, he was about to come around the corner. It was just, and that's what's crazy, is that we all want to give up when it starts to get too much. And God's just waiting on the other side of the corner going like, you just got to get there, just ask for help. And it's true, right? When you get to that point, you're like, God, I don't know if I can do this anymore. God's like, okay.
Yeah.
And you guys have done that with me many times where I say,
yep,
he's testing you. He wants to see how far you can go. I go, now he's going to give you what you want, so you understand that it's him. And he gives it to you, right? He's giving it to you. He's giving it to you. He gives it to you. And then the next thing you know, you're in another test, because now he's going to see how far he can take you. And it's crazy. It says, but now hardship. Like, it was a hardship for him. This was really difficult for him. He was dealing with, there's no new beginning. So in other words, saying he can never start again. Especially if he's going to end up down there. I don't think you can come out of there unless Thoth clears you for whatever reasons. Like if he was abused, sexually abused, or things like that, like there's leniency for that, because you're already your mind doesn't have the same train of thought. Which is interesting. Like the Menendez brothers, everybody say they can burn in hell, but at the end of the day, like if they were abused, which I say they're not, in fact, I know they're not.
They're going to get out.
They're going to get out. They're going to get out because there's nobody to fight them. Who's going to fight them? They've already done a lot of time, and now they're going to, everybody can say different things. Now, I'll help them. I'll say that this happened.
Everyone has sympathy for him.
Yeah, there's sympathy now. They've been in there a long time. Okay, so it says, opportunities that were coming. It says, but he didn't love himself. So there was no self-love, and that we talk about that a lot. And I think at the point where I try to do something to myself. I didn't love myself anymore. I didn't love who I was. I didn't love that I didn't have any family around me. I didn't love that I was alone. I didn't love that I was constantly hurting. And I thought that was the only way not to hurt. And at the end of the day, biggest mistake I ever made. It says quickly, it talks about energy. It talks about energy, becoming energy. It says energy from the past. So like, again, we don't know, and I don't know, definitely don't know, because it's not telling me yet. We should ask that question. What was his past? What was going on in his past is something we should have asked, because it's talking about his past. So there's something in there that we could have found out. But Michelle didn't think outside the box, and so here we are. It says there's no more moving forward. So on every card that he ends with, he's telling you there's no new beginning.
He's blocked.
There needed to be a big change. And then it talks about there's no more decisions to move forward. He's saying there's nothing, it's over. I'm done. It says a woman presently who was upside down with him, and I think this is the girl. It says she thinks that this returned to cut off his head, but it also saying returned to cut off his head. Isn't that kind of, I don't know exactly what it means at this point, but it's saying
maybe the relationship wasn't good for him.
maybe she broke up with him 3 days later or that day.
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe we don't know about that. Maybe she called and said, I'm done. I can't do this no more. When she got home.
Yeah.
This could be it, because it says she returns to cut off his head. And do you think that, between us, do you think that maybe that might have pushed him over the edge? Because there's always something that pushes you over the edge.
That's enough. If he's alone and feeling depression,
And he's using all kinds of
the
drugs.
only thing that he has is her, that he thinks is enough, and then even she kicks
And that
him to
might
the
be
curb,
why she feels guilty.
that was enough to push
Right?
him over.
Mr. Divino said, can't you throw on the past card?
I could, but it's not going to ask. The question is saying there's no more magic. So I'll try that. I'll try it. I'll give it a shot. But I'm not going to do it right now.
Yeah.
Because I'm already moving forward. It's giving me a story. It says not spiritual. Like something about no spirituality in this woman. Like no remorse. No, I don't know. Like with that or she's scared. It says there's triumph. It says and discontent. So in other words, she got her message across to him, but at the same time, disappointed. Now, if he was abusing her, if he was seriously abusing her because he was on drugs, think about it. As a woman, you're with this man and you've loved him and you've stayed by his side and you've raised his kids, you've done all this shit, and he starts beating the fuck out of you. And then at some point, something happens to him. A part of you is like, fuck yeah, he finally got his. But then a part of you is sad and discontent.
Yes.
And I think this is what she's feeling, like, he finally got paid back.
Is this his ex-fiance?
I don't know. It's not telling me directly who.
Yeah.
This says presently. So this could be presently the girl that he was with recently. Or this could be the ex-fiance at the same time, but it's not telling me.
Yeah.
It says that there was nothing spiritual about what happened. Like, spiritual. So I guess when you're kind of going through some shit like that and there's never any, and people tell me this all the time, when are they going to get their karma? When they're done. When you used to tell me, when is he going to get his karma? When they're done. And then what happened? He had a heart attack. Did I not call? I called it, right? I said he's going to have a heart attack. Boom, heart attack. I said this is going to happen. Boom, going to jail. Everything I said hit. Because you kept asking me about the karma. And so this right here, maybe the ex is saying, I want the karma. Because it talks about a different woman here besides this one. And it's saying a woman no longer spiritual. And I think when
Someone said, hi fam, they said he SA'd someone and had pending charges.
Yeah.
Oh.
maybe.
They were saying that he was going with underage girls.
Well, but then again, that would make sense. It says a woman upside down, no spirituality, because you don't believe in God. Once something happens to you that's traumatizing, like immediately kind of, why weren't you there for me?
Yep.
But then it says triumph, like he got his, but then discontent, like that's kind of sad. Again, it's returns. And then in the center, it says in this world, like that's the world, like things come back. Everything you guys fucking do comes back. I don't care who you are, how gifted you are. Even for me, I walk that straight line. I have to, because I've already seen shit come back to me, and I'm not going to be homeless again. I'm not going to be starving or any of those other things. So when I tell you this, that things come back to you, don't think because you did some shit a while back that's never going to come back. Don't think because you cheated 6 years ago that it's not going to come back. Unless you made a deal with the man where he said, if you do this, I'll let that be blocked. Then you're cool, because he's going to ask you for something that you really don't want to do. I have that with one of my clients right now. And it is what it is. But nothing's affected the relationship because she made that deal and she plans to keep it. I would keep it. My comadre did the same thing. She had a kid with someone else, but when they came out, It came out of the paternity. It was his. Impossible shit, right? But God keeps His word. You don't fuck around. Yes.
Your wife said, is he involved with Diddy somehow?
With who?
Diddy.
We didn't ask that question. You can't ask me that like after. Come on, guys. Let's see if it comes out. So it says, in the future, there's an obstacle. It talks about an obstacle that was coming in the future. It says, where a woman, interesting, wants money, it says, and to be happy and live a life with money, it says, and with a man that she, find a man that she loves, it says, even if it knocks things out of balance. So, is it possible that this person that's doing the essay thing is trying to get money because of all the stuff that's going on? And that knocked him out of balance as well?
There's people that do it for money.
I'm just saying, like, I mean,
It's possible.
you can see that this is big money. This is a girl in green, and this is an Ace of Pentacles. That's big money.
Actually, the
Yeah.
ex-fiance Maya, her family is ridiculously stupid Texan oil money rich.
Wow. Well, that might be it. There you go. But it says, glad that it knocked him off balance. Like, whatever it took to knock him off balance, knocked him off balance. It says, broken heart, sadness, broken heart. It says, a child, and how old was he?
He was 31.
Still young.
Did have a child that was 7 years old. His name was Bear. And
Talks about a child upside down.
Oh
Broken
my
heart, a
God.
child upside down.
7-year-old boy.
It says, and an angry man with a double-edged sword also upside down. So the cards depict him as an angry man. And I guess if you're doing all that and you get to the point where, because I was angry. When I went to take my life, I was sad, depressed, lonely, tired, and pissed. Because I felt like my whole life had been taken from me. So why keep going? I think that's explains him to a T, is that, it's a double-edged sword. You hurt yourself, but you hurt everybody else around you. And because you get to a point where your head gets like this because you belong to something that's so big, remember, relevance only lasts for so long. Hear what I'm telling you. You could be the biggest thing in the moment, even in your career, even in your relationship. Yeah, it's in the moment. Like, your relationship could be great and you're relevant to that person. And then another 5 years go by and now you're getting some wrinkles and now your butt sagging and now some other shit are happening and that person doesn't look at you the same anymore because they feel you're no longer relevant. I make sure I keep myself relevant in my relationship. And so I think there's a form of he felt irrelevant. It says, at this point, a woman goes upside down with him who was in love. It says, and that brings him to his knees. Here's the story. It says, and so he had to choose a road. There's two roads there. Does he pick himself up or does he go down the dark road? It says, and that's what brings the burden on his back. It says, no lovers, like no more lovers. Like, his lover's gone, no more lover. That's crazy. It says, things at that point were incomplete. It says, no more battles, no more struggles, no more sacrifices. It says, family never ending. Like, you're always going to have your family. It says, and he was in the right place at the right time. It says, and slowly it talked about his problems going away. Like, if he could have just hung out a little bit longer. So right here, I'm not seeing the push. I'm not seeing the foul play yet. I mean, it's not over yet because here comes the tie-up thing. But I just feel like there was a lot more to this. There was a lot going on here. It says, especially for that age and the amount of drugs he's probably using, I don't know how you can make good decisions in any of those moments, right? How can you? It says, blinded, like deaf, dumb, and blind, tied up with all these problems all around him. And then it says, beyond depressed. So it's talking about beyond depressed. It's talking about, wanting to be truthful with himself, but his lies and deceptions catching up with him. Talks about wanting to be that, good person or trying to return to that good person. It says, but there was three things. Yeah.
apparently, hours before the accident had happened, he was donating money to sick children on GoFundMe's and giving them
There
money.
you go. I'm on it, bro.
And then also edit the ex-fiance Maya Henry, not oil money, but father owns many personal legal lawyer what's it called, law firms.
Okay.
A personal injury lawyer basically owns a lot of San Antonio with lawyers and stuff like that.
Okay. All right. Talks about God. So it's talking about he was trying to do good things, godly things to get God on his side. And I think God got on his side, but I think he was too far gone. I think there's a point where God knows where you kind of make choices. If you're so intoxicated or drugged out or whatever, there's a point where God can't interfere. Yeah, he just can't interfere. It's kind of like, well, this is what your choice is. It says, no more love. It says things no longer incomplete. And it says no more judgment, no more justice. And it says a man who was a king creates destruction. It says no brujeria. It says over a woman who no longer wants to be in love with him. It says, and he has no justification, no defense. Like, he can't defend himself. He knows what he did. And I'll be honest with you, not to be some weirdo or anything like that, but when I was using steroids and drinking and using drugs, you become very forceful. Because I remember being with someone one time and they said, like, no, I don't want to right now.
How dare you say no?
And I grabbed them, like, and then I kind of freaked out because I was like, almost at the point to where my sexual desire was much more than that, where I wanted to just take it. And then I said, but it was someone I was with, but I said, you know what, never mind, I'm good. Because I knew I was going to cross a line, you know what I mean? And it scared me. It kind of scared me more than them, I think. They were kind of like, huh?
Yeah.
But that's a little scary. So, yeah. But, you know, never mind. I'm not going to get into that. Moving on. But it's saying there's no justification with what he was doing. Like, you can't say, like, okay, how could you stay with me? Or how could you leave me? Or how could you do all this stuff? When you're at a point where the most important thing to you is that stuff that you're doing, not the person you're with, there's a problem. There's definitely a problem. It says alone, but not wanting to be alone. It says wanting to return to love, trying to want to be strong. It says, but karma comes. That means he did something. So karma comes from either cheating, lying, deception, maybe something that happened that he's been waiting for. And again, when you want to be happy, or you think you could be happy, because that should have been a happy trip, right? You're down there, he's in Cancun, right? Oh, what was it? Buenos Aires. He's in Argentina. Beautiful place. That should be a memorable trip. Not one where all you were doing was getting high, which is scary. It says, in a place of money, or in a home of money, or a place of money, it says, but then something returns. So I think maybe the niche, the drug, that starts to become a habit. You say, oh, let's just get high, we're here, or whatever, let's have fun. And you do, and then, I don't know if he was using before that. All I know is that it's saying something returns. Karma's paying you back. When you want to be happy, you're going to get hit, or you're going to be challenged. It says, afraid to lose, or afraid to lose things. It says, and the devil takes control. The devil grabs him. It says, and rest assured, and there's a source falling on him, there's no fruit in that. Like, there was nothing good that was going to come out of that. He got him. It says, and he falls into the same circle, the same pattern. It says, the sun, in order for the sun to shine, there could be no death. In other words, for him to get all the things that were coming to him, he shouldn't have killed himself. He shouldn't have unalived himself. There should be no death. It says he needed to reconcile. He needed to forgive himself and reconcile with himself. It says, and master his life. It says, but at the end, it talks about relationships, like building relationships that had opportunities and stuff. It says, and then there's my card saying, and him becoming more spiritual. And I think those were the things that were probably racing through his head. Now, his child is upside down as a gifted child. Could he have been gifted? Could be. Because I've seen that with a lot of the gifted people that are like me. We tend to want to destroy ourselves. Take it to the edge. Jump off the cliff and see if we survive. Like, we're that stupid. And it's because we're looking for an answer that we're not looking in the right place. Because we're so used to what happens here that we're not thinking about, what's my purpose? What am I here? Is this what I'm supposed to be doing? Instead, we're looking at trying to fulfill our heart and our needs, our sexual needs, and all these other things, that we start missing everything, and nothing's ever good anymore. You're never happy because you're still looking for that spirituality, and it just keeps calling you, and things keep happening. You'll dream about it. It starts getting stronger and stronger. And before you know it, you're like, I need something to let go, and you start using drugs, or you start drinking, or you start smoking, or whatever the hell it is, and that's what happens to a lot of us who are gifted. And I guarantee if you were to say that to some of my people who are gifted on here, they'll say, like, fuck yeah, that's true. Like, I just wanted to self-medicate. So you're asking me, and I'm trying to answer these questions as I seen them on here. Did he jump off? He jumped off. He wasn't pushed. So I don't see foul play there. Did someone sacrifice him? I think he sacrificed himself. Could he have been set up by the girl? It's possible that she could have said, hey, I'm leaving you, so he could jump off the deep end. But I don't think that was it. I think there was more going on. And he may have been in too deep to where he may have done something to hurt her. She just didn't want to put it out there. It says, did Simon Cowell have anything? Not even close. He's not even involved in that. I don't know where that even came from. And then, was he on drugs? He was definitely on more drugs than you can ever imagine. And it wasn't just heroin. He was on a lot of shit. So he was going off. Like, he was going off. It says, was there going to be a reunion for One Direction? Well, it doesn't really show any of that because, again, he would have had to have been present in order for that to be something that, you know what I mean? And I think he was at a point where he wasn't even present anymore within himself. And then you saw it says that the devil takes over. So what we want to become, you know, a conspiracy, or we want to build to say, you know, when there's all this happening, this was him. And I think for all of us, like for me when I was playing sports, when it ended, it was devastating. It was really devastating for me because I was like, how do I identify now? Who am I? What am I going to do? But it's true, right? And when you're in a big band and you're so relevant, come on, One Direction was huge. Michelle has underwear that says One Direction on it.
Fuck yeah, bro.
And it's pointing to the back.
Fuck yeah. No, they were literally the Beatles of this girl's generations.
Your generation.
Well, like of that, like 2011, like I was already in college at that point.
Yeah, but you were still all over their nuts.
Fuck yeah, I was. Hell yeah.
I wasn't up One Direction.
Basically,
I go the other way.
him